Welcome to Friday Night Chants. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Coastal football is back in action after a bye week. This weekend, they have Old Dominion on Saturday on the road. And to get us ready for it, we go to Chanti's Pizza earlier this week with head coach Tim Beck and Joe Katz. Joe, take it away.
All right, Coach, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a little bit. How things going these days over in Teal Nation?
Good. It's going good. We've enjoyed the bye week. Had opportunities to catch our breath a little bit and get healthy. Try to get healthy.
I love playing in front of our home crowd. I love the atmosphere, especially over the last few seasons that we've been able to build in terms of our game day experience. There's nothing better, though, going on the road and picking up a win, a decisive win, a decisive 30 minutes of football at the back end of the second half to get on that bird, fly back here to the Myrtle Beach, Conway area and enjoy, particularly because we had this week off to kind of get ourselves, as you said, in position, healthy, to put our best foot forward against a tough Old Dominion team coming up this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's always, there's student sections right behind us calling us names and throwing stuff. There's nothing better than quieting that crowd when you get that W for sure. But I second your feeling and your emotions after that game. I was really proud of our team, the way that they just stayed the course, kept fighting and kept believing. And so, it's just anything worthwhile is never easy, and you got to fight for it. And our guys kept doing that, and coaches kept doing that. And eventually, like we talked 2 weeks ago, I said one day it's going to click and it's just going to start happening, and hopefully this was the game.
And you felt like the belief right on the sideline as that second half started to play out defensively, complimenting, we're able to do offensively, get our first couple of touchdown passes, this season under the direction of Hudson at quarterback. But really, as that game played out, right, it didn't necessarily go our way through the first 30 minutes, but our guys continued, as you said, to swing the hammer and try and figure out ways in which we can move the football forward, take advantage of some miscues, and they opened the door for us. And that was one of the things that, in that back end of the second half, they muffed the punt after the start of the third quarter. They opened the possession. There's a difference, right, Coach, between kicking a field goal in that position or scoring a touchdown and really putting your foot forward and saying, you know what, we have got something here. We have drawn up the schemes to take us in an advantage in terms of what their defense was showing. And to put a touchdown in the way we did, I thought set the tone for the back end of the contest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was our ability to go and score in that second quarter. And I think for the first time, like, our guys kind of saw, like, this is how it's supposed to be when you execute. You do things right, you hang on the ball, and we can score. And I think that's when they were like, we can do this. You and I have talked about this before. Sometimes you just need that little spark and create the fire. And our guys believed at halftime, 100%. We have been playing very well defensively, and our defense has kept the offense in the games, and same with special teams. And then, I said this after the game, that the big key was, one, we won the turnover battle, 3-0. And two, we scored touchdowns in the red zone, and they didn't. We held them to field goals. And so the difference in the game, it's so funny how you play the whole game and it comes down a couple of plays here and there, but that's reality.
Well, I mean, in the back end of that, Coach, despite some of the frustrations maybe that we felt the last time you joined us, coming off the East Carolina game, or of course at Virginia, we had talked about the fact that end of the day, maybe the score not indicative of how close the game was played throughout the course of the evening. And it comes down to a couple of missed assignments, special teams miscue or play here and there that ultimately can decide a football game at this level.
Yeah, and momentum switches in that middle eight, right? The end of the 4 minutes at the end of the first quarter or second quarter, and 4 minutes of the third quarter. And you think about that in our game too. We scored, right? And then we held them and scored, right? And so it just changed the whole complexity of the game in that middle eight.
Putting all that time in, hearing detractors here and there and everywhere, it's just so fulfilling. I know it's 1 week, we've got another game coming up, we put that aside, but as a fan, and that's how I'm speaking right now as a fan, really just got me inspired and motivated to watch how this week will play out, and obviously as we move through the middle portion of the season.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too. Like, at the end of the day, our guys, it's not about one game. It's not about, we talk about all the time. It's a great victory. Winning's hard. Number one, winning in the Sun Belt Conference is hard. Also, winning in the Sun Belt Conference on the road, really, really, really hard. And that's something that's very difficult to do. So I'm really proud of our guys that they just kept, like I said, they just kept believing and kept fighting. And our focus was exceptional. Our work was exceptional, and the product paid off. But that wasn't our goal, right? That's not our goal. It was to just win one game or just beat South Alabama. And so we've had a good week. Our practice has been good. We seem very very intentional in terms of what we're trying to do. This is a good football team we're about to face.
We're going to catch up with our quarterback, Tad Hudson, here over the next few minutes. Richard, sophomore. This dude's 6'3", 227 pounds. That sounds like a quarterback to me at the FBS Division I college football level. He comes from Huntersville, North Carolina, Huff High School graduate, and we'll start there, Tad. Well, welcome. Thanks for spending a little time with us here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for everybody coming out tonight.
That's what I'm calling it now.
A lot of teal, baby. A lot of teal. I love it.
Well, there would be no other color here. There's no sort of light shade of blue or some sort of garnet or orange. They're not welcome here. They can stay outside until 8 o'clock, and then we'll welcome you back in, and you can buy some pizza and enjoy what you enjoy here at Chanti's Pizza. Tad, there was no one that had a bigger smile on their face coming off that field in Mobile, Alabama than you over the course of Saturday night's performance, 38-20 victory. What did it mean to you individually, personally? Because it's been a while since you've been on the football field in terms of consistently, since your high school days at Huff. You come to us from North Carolina, you get that spot start in the Myrtle Beach Bowl last year, continuing to work with Coach Hollingshead and the quarterback core, trying to learn this new air raid offense. How fulfilling was it for you to lead our guys to victory the way you did with 3 total touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground, in our way to a 38-20 win? What did that mean to you?
Yeah, man, it felt great. Just being out there with all the guys, getting dug for all them and for all the fans, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. And obviously, I haven't played a ton of ball, especially in college, but to be out there and win, and that feeling in the locker room with the guys, you can't beat it. I'm just very happy, and glad we got to get a win.
I know you played in a pretty tough conference out there in Huff High School, the Charlotte area. Myers Park, your big rivalry. I know how it goes out there near the Queen City. A little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, obviously, here at this level. So how have you been able to get yourself prepared while working through the practice time, going through the reps? But as soon as bodies start flying around and you've got 25, 40 seconds on the play clock there to make a play and set the offense, get some more information from your offensive coordinator. How much different is it, obviously, from where you were just a couple of years ago to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different. At the end of the day, it's still football. We're still out there throwing the ball to the open guy and scoring points. And, it's still the same game, but a lot of things changes. The offenses, the defenses, personnel. Guys are a lot bigger, a lot faster. But at the end of the day, it's still football. And I think just learning and growing as a player, a student of the game, has helped me a lot. And it's brought me where I am now. It's helped me a lot. And, Coach Drew, Coach Beck, all those guys helped me tremendously. So it's been great.
I mean, you're a big dude. How many times do you hear in your ear hole, after you run over a defensive back or for an 8-yard gain, dude, get down, and limit the amount of contact that you have, particularly towards the upper area of your body? How often do you hear that after you just bulldozed some dude for 12 yards? Your lineman's lifting you up, your receivers are patting you on the rear end. How often do you hear that then from the coach to kind of bring you back down to earth?
Yeah, I hear it a little bit just in the open field. It's not the smartest, but anytime down the red zone or third and 1, man, I'm going to lay my shoulder down and get it. Just kind of mentality I think a quarterback should have. Yeah.
let's be honest. I mean, a 5'7", 180-pound defensive back, he got nothing on you, man. I mean, let him have it. I mean, shoulder pad, whatever you're gonna do. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if we're gonna get a pat on the rear end as we leave here, given my coaching, expertise here at Chanti's Pizza. Tad, as you get the call from coach, or brings you into the room and says, "Hey, you're going to start quarterback next week." When you heard those words, how did the mental mindset change, or how have you gone day to day, throughout your college career, whether it be from Chapel Hill down to Coastal, and trying to understand the process? Because you're the guy at high school. You're taking every snap. You're the people. You're the person people are looking at. And that changes a little bit when you get to the college level. What was that adjustment period like, and how have you been able to keep that sort of game time mentality, moving through each practice, not knowing whether or not you get an opportunity to take a snap in a live game?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, right when I found out, I was obviously super excited. Saw the opportunity, and I was very excited, ready to work with the guys and get things going. But yeah, it's a little bit different being a backup and then going into the starting role. You obviously want to prepare every day like you're the starter, but at times it's hard, man, because you just aren't the guy going out on the field. So I think when you hear that from the coaches and from the players around you, it installs a lot of confidence and just lets me go out there and play freely and get all the guys together and lead them better and be a better leader and all around. So.
Talking with Tad Hudson, by the way, a quarterback who picked up his first collegiate win just a couple weeks back against South Alabama. By the way, he accounted for 3 total touchdowns, so it was 13 and 25 in terms of his completion. So we'd like to get that number up a little bit more, right? The completion percentage. But having said that, Tad, a lot goes into the timing, the route running, and the familiarity you have with your guys. Not always necessarily taking first-team snaps. So what has that been like through this off week to get yourselves in a position where the timing is right, and you kind of feel a little bit more comfortable around the guys that you're likely to see out there come Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bye week was big for us, man, especially me not playing a lot, getting some more working with those guys and just throwing with them and getting the timing right and feel things right. So I think we did a good job fixing it, and I'm excited to see what we can do against ODU, man. See if we can pick it up a little bit and throw for a ton of yards and score a lot of touchdowns.
I mean, you run hard. You also have a little nimbleness. I don't even know if that's a word in the American dictionary, but it is now. You've got some, around a quarterback, they always say the worst thing around you is towards the lower half of your body. When there are a lot of big bodies around the lower half of your body, you tend to do things that you don't want to do. But talk about what is that practice time like in terms of maneuverability within the pocket, when to stay in the pocket, when to jump out, try and make a play, either on the sideline or when to decide to tuck it in and run the football. What is that practice like throughout the course of a week to get yourself prepared for these game type situations?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me just to improve on each and every week is just staying calm in the pocket, delivering a good pass. But that all starts with my footwork. Starts with the O-line, trusting them, and staying calm in the pocket, like I said. But I think those other plays, man, just making plays with my feet, I think that's just natural instinct. Like I said earlier, it's a game I've been playing since I was a little kid, so when that happens, just let instincts take over and let my feet do the rest.
All right, and you're a complete nerd, I'm sure, in the film room in terms of things that you may have missed throughout the course of a contest, maybe a ball that you threw a hair behind or a hair in front of a guy. What are some of the things that you take from the film room and then try and implement that on the practice field? So the next time that comes around in the game situation, as you're moving up in the pocket and able to complete a pass, that pass is in the chest rather than a hair behind it. Just in terms of getting your body in the right position to make the throw that you're very capable of making.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a pretty hard grader on myself when it comes to ball placement and giving the receivers a good ball to catch with and run with after the catch. That's something I just go back to work every day. I'm really hard on myself during practice. Trying to give those guys the best ball I can give them, and just keep working on it every day. things will happen.
All right, I know you don't get back home very often, so when you look at your time, obviously in one of the bigger powerhouse high schools in North Carolina football outside of the Charlotte area, when you look at what they're up to or what they've done, how much does that mean to you that you were able to play a part in what that legacy is like over at Huff?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I'm a proud Huff alum, man. I love my high school. I went there all 4 years. I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. It was great. Had great coaches, great friends that went there, and still do. I think they're 3-0, 4-0.
I was looking at the schedule, by the way.
Yeah, they're good. They're legit. So I think we came close to winning the ring, but we never did. So I hope those boys can do it for all the players that tried and for them too. I'm excited.
So we got these bone crushers on defense, right? They were really hooting and hollering. They forced 3 turnovers with a scoop and score the other night from Jay Brown. What does that do for an offense when you see the defense laying it out there the way they have really in 4 games? So why we kind of spit and sputtering, trying to figure out some things offensively, knowing that our defensive unit's got an opportunity in some cases to bend, not break it, but they'll also force turnovers and put the offense in a good position to score a touchdown. What does that mean from the offensive perspective when your defense is doing what they've been able to do throughout this year?
For sure, man. They've been balling out all year, and it gives us a lot of confidence, and makes me feel like at times like, man, we got to step it up and win this game for the defense. Because they've done everything to their best of their ability to stop it and give us a chance to win the game. I think at times we just haven't done a good job of offense executing and all that. So super proud of those guys, man. They work their tail off every day. They come out to practice with that soul collecting mentality and all that, man. And it's fun to watch them play. They get after the ball and they're fast in the ball. So can't wait to see what's next.
All right, Tad Hudson takes the shotgun snap. Scrolls out to his left, or his right rather. He sees Malik Mega, cut right in front of that pylon, right in front of my eyes. I saw the whole play, taking shape. Their first touchdown pass of the season. What was that like? What did you see as the progressions rolled through that play?
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a guy in the flat. I saw a flat defender take him. I knew right there it was gonna be 6. I was excited, man. Malik just made a great play, great catch. O-line held up, give you a chance to get the ball off. So it was nice. It was a good feeling celebrating with those guys and getting in the end zone finally.
Well, that was one nice little window you had to throw through. But the second one, come on now. I could have probably put some loft on that and thrown it in the back corner of that end zone. Does that become one of the more difficult throws, though, or do you not think it? Because you overthink it, man, this game's wide open. I got an easy hit, and then you short arm it, you overthrow him.
Yeah, I feel like in the game, there's too much going on. It's playing too fast to really think about any of that. I think just playing with instincts, man. Getting the ball out quick and giving those guys a chance is a big thing. So, yeah, not too much thinking about that.
How about that Jaden Simpkins run, by the way? Right through the left tackle right there. Another perfect view that I had that saw that hole open. And then he put his hand in the face back of that defensive back and just really smushed him into the ground and put him out like a buck.
Yeah,
So you know what? Here's my front toe. Have that one. How cool does that look like? From the back end of the pocket, watching a run play take shape the way it did.
Yeah, I think something like that or a big run or something like that is just fires me up probably the most. Just seeing other guys score. The O-line, so happy for them. They work their tails off. Jaden's a great guy. Great guy. Was my roommate last year. Worked his tail off, was injured, came back, man. Just such a great kid. So happy for him. All those running backs, man. Especially when we weren't throwing the ball too great. They came in and stepped up and helped win the game for us, man. So it's awesome.
All right, last but not least, I've asked all of the players who have stopped by here at Chanti's Pizza, what'd you get to eat tonight?
Oh, I got the Buffalo chicken pizza.
Buffalo chicken pizza. We had a hamburger pizza.
Ranch, not Buffalo Blue.
Buffalo Ranch.
Yeah.
All right, and I want to say, who got the wrap? I think it had to be an offensive lineman. I think it was Zach. Would Zach go for the wrap? I think he had a wrap a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so next time, not that you get under center, much these days. Next time, whisper in his ear and say, "Hey, Kat said, a wrap really at Chanti's Pizza. Loosen him up a little bit if he's a little tight. This weekend." Hey, Tad Hudson, our quarterback at Coastal Carolina, big effort. What was it? 2 weeks back now. It feels let's get ready. Yeah. Talking about the heat up some Monarchs coming up this weekend in Norfolk. How about Tad Hudson, coach? I mean, you're a believer. I'm a believer. This guy brings a little bit of moxie to him, doesn't he?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you love him. You can see why the team follows him and has jumped on his back. And, a lot the credit goes to him. He's just been patient. He's worked and waited for his opportunity. I tell our team all the time, in this day and age of college football, it's not the team you start with. There's going to be so many changes through the course of the year. It's when you win. It's how you end it, right, from all the different things that take place within the course of the season. So he just wait. I tell them all too, like there's going to come a time you're going to get your opportunity. Be ready. Be ready.
What does Old Dominion bring, and what are we going to need to do on both sides of the ball, frankly, to pick up a win this weekend on the road?
Well, their offense is going to make them go, and they're a very, very good football team right now, playing with a lot of confidence. Their quarterback is arguably probably the best player in the conference right now, I would say, from what I've seen. He's second in the conference in rushing, first in passing, first in total. They're number one offense in the conference. They're averaging almost 8 yards per play right now. So they're having a lot of success, and we have to find a way to contain him and control him as best as possible. He's gonna make some plays. That's what he's done that against everybody. We can't give him a lot of big plays right now. That was one of the the preaching points is keep the ball in front of us and make them earn everything they have to get. And when you get opportunities to tackle and hit these guys, you got to hit them.
Thank you, Joe. Coastal heads to Virginia on Saturday to take on the Monarchs of Old Dominion. It'll be at 6 o'clock as the Chanticleers try and get another Sunbelt victory to start off conference play 2-0. For Friday Night Chants, I'm Sam Wiederhaft. We'll see you next week.